Welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Nunez, aka Vintage Pokemon Hunter. If you aren't yet, make sure to follow me on Instagram, again, at Vintage Pokemon Hunter. Also, if you aren't yet, make sure to hit the thumbs up on these videos and hit the subscribe button for more content. Post every single day on here and on Instagram. Today, I want to do something a little different. So, for those that don't know, I posted it before on my Instagram. I'm not really talking about it much, but I actually just retired from being... I played Gears of War, the game on the Xbox, at a professional level for pretty much half my life. I just recently retired to go and deal with other ventures. For those that don't know, I also have a studio built that I go to almost every day. Still trying to do... Corona kind of messed that up, but here now, I'm taking the Pokemon pretty much full-time seriously as well. So this is what my focus is really on, is the Pokemon. So a lot of my friends from Twitter and from the Gears of War world and from the professional gaming world, a lot of my friends are getting into Pokemon, and they just have a lot of questions as to what's good to buy. If I'm in the store, what should I look for? What can I get, pretty much? What's good to buy now that's new to open? So pretty much anything that I'm going to name on this list, you might be able to find in stores. Now it's going to be a little harder just because of how popular it is. I haven't seen anything stocked at my Walmart in like the last 2 weeks, Walmart or Target. Everything is like completely wiped. It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to go into pretty much by date in order of like when the set's released. So the first set that we're going to go into is Flashfire. Flashfire came out in May of 2014, and it's about, 6.5 years old now. There's 2 different Charizards in that set. I believe the packs go for around $25 currently. The booster box is like over $2,000 on that. And again, there is 2 Charizards in that set, so it's definitely something to look out for, is XY Flashfire. After that, we're going to go into Evolutions. And I definitely slept on Evolutions super hard. I'm just ignorant and stubborn and don't like the fact that it's like the 7th reprint of the base set. I'm more of an old school guy myself. I'm still trying to get more into the newer product and learn it more. But my main focus is the older stuff, the Watsy stuff. As you can see, most of those on that top shelf there is all older cards, all the hollows that I need to submit and still go through. But since I'm going into, like the last year, I've really been focusing heavy on modern as well. Can't be stubborn and ignorant to the modern, just because, especially now with all the older stuff really getting pricey, it's kind of, my game is really like flipping this new stuff more into the older stuff, just because a lot of this newer stuff is way easier accessible. So XY Evolutions, again, is the reprint of the base set with different cards added. It has the iconic Charizard artwork that everybody remembers and loves. And what's crazy about that Charizard is they printed it horribly. So it's actually pretty expensive and hard to get one in a PSA 10. So, I've seen Darium's Pokemon. If you check out Darium's Pokemon on YouTube, I've seen Darium's literally submit, I think, like 90 or 100 Charizards to PSA. Not one came back a 10. All 9s. So that just goes to show you right there like how hard it actually is to pull that Charizard in a good condition. So now we're going to go into those 2. I actually have some Flashfire. I have some Evolutions, like trainer boxes. But now we're going to go into a lot of the stuff that I'm super heavy and focused on, that I'm actually highly invested in myself. So the next set we're going to go into came out on the timeline. We have Burning Shadows, came out in August of 2017. Have the booster box here of it. You can see back here. See that case? I have 2 more cases like that. So this is actually the set that I'm technically invested most in out of modern sets. The reason why that this box is so expensive is because of this card that I have in my hand. The first ever Rainbow Rare Charizard. That's the first ever like it. This was in print for a long time. This set was printed for 4 almost 4 years. And just seen natural growth. That's what you really want to look for in Pokemon. Like, this set was printed for 3.5 years. Not that nobody cared for it, because everyone was always on the hunt for this Charizard, right? Everyone's like, alright, well, I gotta get the Zard. But up until maybe midway through this year, this set, until it went out of print and everybody started hyping up Pokemon, like, that Charizard was $100 raw mint at the beginning of this year. Graded, it was like maybe $700 in a PSA 10. Now a PSA 10 of that Charizard is over $3,000. And again, I was telling you just right now before, probably 2 minutes ago, about Evolutions and how badly they printed that Charizard. Actually, it's the set overall that was printed horribly. Burning Shadows is when Pokemon actually started to fix their printing and up their game a little bit. So some Burning Shadows is still really bad, and some of it is when it's like really good. So Burning Shadows Another reason that Charizard is it's probably the hardest card to pull in Pokemon. I've seen something about like maybe there's one in every 25 booster boxes, something ridiculous like that. So I believe, this is my opinion in the future, and this is why I'm so heavily invested in it. I think Burning Shadows is a great long-term investment simply because of that Charizard. There's nothing really more in the set that people are really going after besides that Charizard. And it's a beautiful card. It's the first Rainbow Rare, and I just really love that set. So going next down the line, we have Shining Legends, which came out in October of 2017. I have a bunch of these Shining Legends Raichu boxes. For those that don't know, these were actually, for a while, you could price match these at Targets for like $13. I grabbed a bunch of these. I probably had like maybe 20 of these at one point. I think I maybe have like less than 10 left. I opened a lot of them. But I do want to actually open more of those. So the cards from there too, what you're really looking for. What's really cool about this set, again, it came out in October 2017. It has probably, and honestly, my favorite Mewtwo artwork. Like, look at that. Like, what? Come on. In the test tube, like from the movie. And what's cool about Shining Legends too, again, just like Hidden Fates, if you watch my other Hidden Fates video, Shining Legends is actually, it's a holiday set. So what's crazy about holiday sets, and that's another, so these are all going in the line of like what I would buy, right, if I was in the store. So I didn't bring up Dragon Majesty, which came out in 2018, which is the 2018 holiday set. So holiday sets aren't printed in booster boxes. You can only get them in like certain collections like that. Like Hidden Fates had the pin collections. Just, that's the only way you can get this. Elite Trainer boxes and the way that they package them differently. You can't buy the big booster box of them. So Dragon Majesty is probably another one. Like, I believe all holiday sets eventually are going to appreciate just because you can't get them in the booster box. It's harder to acquire them and really like harder to acquire product. But what's really cool about Shining Legends, back to that, is they have these Shining cards, which for the first time since Neo Genesis, we have the Shining cards where just the Pokemon itself is actually shiny. We have some Mews, we have the Jirachi there, and then we have the Ho-Oh where the Pokemon itself is shiny and not the whole holo. First time that's happened since Neo Genesis, so almost in 20 years. And it's crazy, again, Shining Legends is one of those sets where for a while it just wasn't appreciated. People didn't really care about it. You could still honestly probably find Shining Legends in your local Target. If you live in an area that's rural enough, you never know. They might still just be pulling stock out of it because that set was printed for almost 3 years, and it's sat on the shelves for, again, up until maybe halfway through this year. Once people started to realize, wait, Hidden Fates, holiday sets, once people started to understand that a little bit, that's when it started getting a little bit crazy with that. So the next set that you're going to look out for is Team Up. Team Up, again, we're going to go here. I have a booster box of it. All these sets, again, these are sets that I am fully invested in myself. If you don't believe me, I'm showing you the sealed product here. So this is Team Up. And Team Up is actually the first set that had these super amazing tag team Pokemon. So it's 2 full Pokemon on cards. Have the 2 big hitters right there. This is actually the chase card of the entire set, that Gengar and Mimikyu. That's the card that you want to go for if you're opening that set. So again, this is just something new that Pokemon just does pretty often now. It's actually pretty smart. So with Vivid Voltage, if you see this new set that's coming out, they have what's called Amazing Rares. It just sounds corny, but they actually do look pretty cool. The Amazing Rares it's just a new rarity. It's a new factor to throw in, and they throw that factor in and then they take it away. It's pretty cool. So Team Up is the first time that these cards were printed, these tag team cards. And this set wasn't printed for very long. I wouldn't be surprised if they went ahead and reprinted Team Up, especially since they already printed the next set that I'm going to go and talk into, which is Unbroken Bonds. Unbroken Bonds came out in May of last year, 2019. This set, here we go, here's the booster box. I have a few of those as well. This is the first set that had the Charizard tag team in it. It's only the second tag team set, but it's the first one that had the Charizard in it. It also had these beautiful boys, the Full Art Blastoise. I absolutely love this card. This is another set that just wasn't in print very long. It was a low print, but this was also actually just reprinted. These booster boxes were hovering around $300. Now they're around $160, $180 because of the reprint. But honestly, I think that will hold well. I think in the future, that's another set. I'm not sure if they're going to reprint it again because they just printed it and I know that the way that Pokemon is printing sets now, it's getting kind of crazy. So I don't know if we'll see another big Unbroken Bonds print in the future, but definitely keep an eye out for a team-up one. The next set that we have that I'm invested in is Unified Minds, and to look out for. Unified Minds came out in August of 2019. It's again another set with just beautiful artwork, and it has the tag team cards, same as the last two sets. And here is the real chase card that you want to get out of this. Just an absolute beautiful card. Another one of my, definitely my favorite artworks of the new gen. One of them. Next, we're going to go into Hidden Fates just a little bit, because if you guys are aware, you've seen my other video of it, I have a lot of it in. Besides Burning Shadows, Hidden Fates is probably the second biggest that I'm invested in my favorite set of the newer sets. One here, one of the reasons here is the shiny cards. It has the Charizard in it, but it also has a bunch of other cards like this in the shiny variant that people just absolutely love. I really love the trainer boxes and the pin collections, as you can see up there, as a long-term investment. I do love the tins as well, but the tins are also the most common item, so be careful with the tins. Cosmic Eclipse. So this is the next set and the last set, besides all the newer stuff that I'm looking out for. So this is kind of, I'm doing a video this kind of like the older sets that you might be able to see in stores up until Sword and Shield. This is all of, I guess, the Sun and Moon era. And we have Cosmic Eclipse, which came out in November of 2019. So this will always be special to me because, like I said, I started about a year ago. So when I got back into the game heavy about a year ago, this was the set that just came out. And it was kind of underappreciated because of how hyped Hidden Fates was. But I want to go and show here, I do have the Charizard and Braixen. This is the card that everybody wants out of that set. What's also ridiculous about this set, again, it was super low printed. It wasn't printed for a long time. This set actually has all three starter Pokemon in it. All three starters. There's Venusaur and Snivy, Blastoise and Piplup, and then here the Charizard and Braixen. There hasn't been a set with all three Kanto starters in a very long time, so I thought that was pretty cool for that set. It's also the last set that has these tag team artworks with the 2 cards on each. So this is the last of that pull with the 2. This is the last card that, you know, people really are going to go after in the future of these tag teams. Who knows if Pokemon ever does the tag team thing again. If they don't, it was a really cool concept, and I like how they did it here. So this video, again, is my video. If you see anything that I listed here in stores, I would grab it. This is what I've been personally investing in. Of course, all the newer sets, Sword and Shield, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, those are all, you'll be able to find those in stores, right? Out of all those, I'm only really buying Champion's Path as of right now. But from my knowledge, all the rest of those that I just listed are all out of print. So, just like everything else that's out of print, it's been going up in value. So, I don't know, maybe Sword and Shield base set might be a good buy soon if you see it around. Who knows? But for now, sticking to all of these, what I know here, I know for a fact that these are all great investments because the amount that they've appreciated even in the last year has been pretty crazy. So these are my safe bets for the long term. All of these cards here I will be getting graded, but for the most part, these booster boxes, I won't be really cracking any of them. Maybe if I start cracking and doing some box breaks, I'll use a couple of these, but I'll obviously replace them because I really do think that they're great long-term investments. You can see back here, this is kind of my card shelf, and that's really it. If you guys have any other questions or any other investment type videos that you would like any information on, please let me know what you would see down in the comments, what you want to see. I'm not sure what else I want to make. I'm thinking about going and really breaking down each set that I really like. I kind of did that a little bit here that I figured. But if you need anything else, any other kind of advice anybody wants, now I remember what I want to do. My other type of video I'm going to do is a lot of people still ask me, like, what's my card worth? What is this worth? I kind of want to do a video of going through cards, like knowing how to identify the condition and then getting the price out of it. I kind of want to do a video like that. So definitely stay tuned for something like that. I really do appreciate you guys checking out these videos every single day. And happy hunting, trainers.